Well, hello, and welcome to another little bit of positive balance in an uncertain world with Therapy Ted and me. Um, Today, we'll go straight into the balance as usual. Um, we do have a colour card today, and you'll like this one because it's chocolate. Now, chocolate actually, as a colour, is a combination of a very dark brown and a black, but that is just such a lovely, lovely sight. And obviously, we've got Easter coming up where we may all be tempted to have maybe a little bit more chocolate than is actually good for us. But chocolate, just drink that colour in, is actually about nourishing your body and your soul. It's very connected to the earth, so it's very grounding for us at the moment. And it encourages healthy boundaries. Interesting when we're thinking about chocolate, but the colour actually encourages healthy boundaries, and also to have a structure, have some resilience, which I think we can all agree we all need at the moment. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling I'm very much still in like a holiday phase, and I haven't quite got the motivation to be able to really start putting some routines in place, which I know is going to be vital for not only my mental health, but everybody else's mental health as well. So have a really good look at that. Excellent. Okay, Therapy Ted has that. So the balance is a quantum balance again, and this time we're on the sacral chakra, which is to do with the emotions. We start off with an original trigger, an ancestral inheritance, so those pesky ancestors are getting in there again. We then go to survival mechanisms, and that's negative beliefs. Again, that will be different for all of us, but all of us will be better the more negative beliefs we can lift from our subconscious. Then we have an endocrine system, which is clear toxins from receptor sites. Then ancestral healing. And with this one, we had to establish the emotions that were involved with this ancestral healing. And they are despair and frustration. Now, despair sounds like it's quite a big emotion, that one. But I think there is quite a lot of, as it's becoming more real, about just how long we might be in social isolation. And, as things are starting to look much more serious on a daily basis, as, the numbers are climbing and all of this kind of thing, then the despair is actually starting to grow around us. So for all of us, it's important that we keep our levels of despair absolutely down. We keep it in check. In fact, if we can get rid of it altogether, that will be a real benefit for the rest of the planet. And the frustration is perfectly understandable, but doesn't get us anywhere. So again, if you notice you're getting frustrated because of the limitations, just kind of go, nope, nope. It's of absolutely no worth of getting worked up about this. It is what it is. Accept it and work out how you work with it. So the positives that I have for today is still about just how lovely a lot of people are being. The fact that people are being much more helpful. People are being respectful, generally speaking, to the distance, when you go out and about. People are starting, are certainly in this area, we're really noticing that people are being helpful. They are asking if they can be of help to other people. And I think it's giving us all a chance to shine a little bit more. The planet is continuing to heal, which is fantastic. And I think that we will start seeing that Europe will start to calm down, hopefully in the not too distant future, although we may be weeks off that at the moment. But if we all stay safe and we practice our social isolation, washing our hands we will be fine. Okay. And also, I think this is a real interesting time, because if you can keep yourself calm, if you can keep yourself looking at the possibilities, that this enforced space is giving all of us, it's giving the planet a really huge space, but it's giving us all a space to actually be able to look at our lives and see some new possibilities. So just think about that. What do you like about your life now that's different to how it was before? What, when we go back into normal life at some point in the future, would you want to take with you from this, and not just go back into that old life? Because things will have changed. They do say that you've got, you have 30 days to create a new habit or to break an old habit. So we've definitely got that. We've definitely got at least 30 days. So just think of the new habits that we could all have by the end of this social isolation. So Therapy Ted is working hard here on this balance. And I want to just say just a few words about loneliness. Now, I know that some people will be starting to feel the isolation. A lot of this depends on your emotional predispositions. Some of us are very happy in our own company for extended periods of time, and other people are not. For those of us who are perfectly okay, maybe it's down to us to ensure that we pick up the phone a bit more often to our friends who we know are not quite so great, being on their own a lot of the time, especially people who are maybe not on social media or don't have a computer. I spoke to a client today who doesn't have the internet. So all she has is the phone, and she is much older, so she won't be watching this. But, she was also feeling a bit strange today. It's her daughter's birthday. And of course, they're not getting together. So she feels a bit odd. So I spent 15 minutes having a nice chat about the positives about life, about what's going on, and about, her being in the garden and, doing her gardening and all this sort of stuff, and plans of how she can maybe get hold of some plants that she can put in. So hopefully that made her feel an awful lot better at the end of the conversation. She certainly said it had. So I think that's something that those of us who are more fortunate, that our emotional predisposition means we're okay on our own for extended periods of time. But equally, if you are somebody that your emotional predisposition means that you're getting really concerned now because you are maybe not spoken to anybody else outside your four walls, especially if you live on your own, then this is the time for you to pick up the phone, okay, for you to make sure that you connect with somebody on Skype or on Zoom or on FaceTime or whatever it is that you have, and have those conversations with people virtually. It may not be quite as good as you're used to being in real time, especially if you're somebody who picks up on the energies of people by being in close proximity. But if you actually expand your mind to be able to accept that you can pick up those energy vibrations virtually, that you can hook into those, then I think you will find that the virtual online conversations, you will have exactly the same benefits than if you were sat in a coffee shop somewhere with your friend. Okay, so that's basically what I wanted to say today. Therapy Ted is coming to the end of his balance now. And tomorrow we're going to talk a little bit more about structure and resilience. Now, this week will be the end of the daily videos. I think we've done them for 2 weeks now. And starting from next week, I'm going to do 2 a week, and they'll be slightly longer. We may actually get 2 balances in place. So for those of you who are clients, it'll be a little bit more like a session, a full session with me. But we're still going to keep it under, so around about 15 or 20 minutes. And obviously we'll still do some positives and we'll still do a topic. So if you've got any suggestions of where you'd like us to go, or what we may do is just see where the balances take us and we'll chat about those. So Therapy Ted is done, and I want you just to have another really good look at that absolutely divine looking colour. And I just want to say goodbye from Therapy Ted and me and our little bit of positive balance in an uncertain world. Have a lovely evening.